I am so stoked. I finally picked up a 5153. It is one of my favorite metal amps of all time. I used to work at a Sam Ash Music, and it was my favorite amp in the store. I got the 5153 50-watt 6L6 head. Unfortunately, I didn't get the newest version with the concentric pots for the green and blue channel. That would have been great to deal with that volume jump, but honestly, you don't pick up a 5150 for the clean channel, do you? Now, specifically, I like the 50 watt and the 6L6 version because we shot these out in the store when I worked there, and these always just were thicker and had a much warmer, like kind of low mid grunt thing going on than the 100-watt versions and the Stealth. And I was able to in store shoot out between the newest EL84 50-watt head and this one. And I kind of just like the 6L6 version better. It's glassier, a little drier. Slightly less gainy, but I mean, this thing has more gain in it than anyone would ever need anyway. And I find the EL34 version just be kind of slightly fizzier, slightly hairier. So I still very much prefer the 6L6 version. Now, a little history on the 5150 is if I need to give it to anybody. The 5150 is one of the most iconic metal amps of all time. I put that right up there with the Mesa Dual Rectifier and a Marshall JCM 800. Like, these are like the Trinity of metal amps. They've been used by everyone under the sun at some point or another, and still are to this day. A lot of people still have old 90s PVs, some block letters. Those are kind of the unicorn of 5150s at this point. Some of my favorite artists have used 5150s over the years. Devin Townsend used it a ton on Strapping Young Lad in his solo stuff, and has modeled them later in his career with the Devin Townsend project and later stuff that he's done. Watain, tons of guys at the Gates, tons of people. And a bunch of people have switched from using 5150s to using 6505s from PV now. Behemoth, At the Gates, Mayhem, Machine Head, tons of people. It's just an iconic sound. And with the 5153 being out, you know, for a while now, I didn't want to really do like a review on it like I would with a normal piece of gear. I kind of wanted to show off that it could do a ton of different tones because a ton of bands use this thing. I saw Belphegor on their last tour using it. Of course, Gojira have been using them forever. Scott Ian from Anthrax started using them. Steel Panther, Satchel's been using those for years. Just band after band after band is using these, and it's because they are that good. Evergrey, everybody has been using these. They just have that iconic 5150 sound, and the third version is a little bit more modern, is a little bit more cut, a little tighter, but it can still cover the gamut of, 20 plus years of tones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show off a bunch of different tones from different bands that use the 5153. And I'm also going to show off some tones of guys that used older 5150s and show how close this still gets to older 5150 tones. And then after that, I'll just show the blue and red channel and kind of how I have those set and where I like them with my Solar. And we'll go from there. Let's check it out.